A few days after the death of Count Julius, the Band of the Hawk find themselves in a massive battle against two doors, Blue Whale Ultra Heavy Armored Fierce Assault Annihilation Night Corps. The infiltration team goes to reinforce Casca's raiders as they try to plant a flag on a bridge at the end of the battle line. They find Casca, oddly wavering as if sickened, locked in combat with the Blue Whale General, Adon Coborlwitz. Ambrose, Milos, and Mirka get ready to charge in and save Casca, but they are not alone. Someone has been following them since the hunt. His name is Aurora, and he announces himself to the Tudorian troops, in Tudorian, trying to strike fear into them with deception. When a Tudor captain rallies some of their soldiers back from the retreat, Aurora doubles down by summoning the sound of a great Midland cavalry march, sending some of the troops fleeing. Meanwhile, Ambrose leaps to Casca's aid, landing several stunning blows against the braggart General Adon. Milosh sees the flag-bearer fall and calls out to two scared raiders named George and Jacquat. He tosses the men gunpowder horns and commands them to blow up the bridge. A huge Tudor warrior closes the distance of Milosh's bow, ready to take him down with his spear. Milosh says to the soldier, "I have looked death in the eye. Even if you strike me down today, you will not have succeeded in getting a second of fear from me." Mirka ensures that Casca is safe and Adon is dealt with before charging at the bridge. Aurora has noticed something peculiar and familiar about Mirka and decides to lend him his own magic. With a burst of haste in his legs and his Arumi, Mirka makes quick work of the soldiers on the bridge and calls off George and Jacquat's demolition. Milosh and Ambrose knock Adon down to the bottom of the waterfall as well. At battle's end, the raiders have secured the bridge and Casca is safe. Aurora introduces himself to the infiltrators as a young noble, fed up with his dull life of privilege. He openly shows them that he can conjure magic, something that doesn't come as much of a surprise to the infiltrators given all they have been through. Milos calls for assistance in capturing and interrogating Adon, who seems to have inside information about Doldrey Fortress. The only one who doesn't participate is Mirka. He watches from atop a cliff, and a wave of confidence and superiority washes over him. Is it a voice that beckons him from the abyss of the eclipse? Or his own fiendish intent that summons him closer to his inevitable evil? Later at camp, Griffith accepts Aurora's service into the Band of the Hawk and assigns him to work alongside the infiltrators. The group hatches a plan to arrange an exchange for Adon, possibly drawing out Supreme Commander Governor Genin or the feared General Boscogn. Griffith tells the infiltrators to ready their heads for a plan to take Doldrey should the King of Midland command it of the band. Griffith then walks with Ambrose in private. They both have a history with Doldrey and its governor. Ambrose is ready to face his past as a Tudorian courtier, as well as someone he left behind when he followed Griffith. Griffith says that the fight may require using himself as bait for Governor Genin, and he tells Ambrose what to do should the battle turn for the worse. The next morning, the infiltrators find a surprise. Their prisoner, Adon, has been killed in the night. What will this mean for their ransom plan? How can the Band of the Hawk hope to conquer the superior Doldrey forces? The infiltrators have a long rest to ponder their next moves. The party finds Adon dead, with burned flesh in his mouth and down his throat. Aurora, not even 20 years old, is particularly disturbed by the nature of the prisoner's death. Milos and Ambrose immediately suspect Mirka, but as they piece together that the cause of death was magical, they also consider that Aurora could have performed the deed. Griffith discovers the situation and begins asking what the party has found in their investigation. Suddenly, Aurora's demeanor seems to change. He asks to talk with Griffith privately, and Aurora's different voice and attitude startles the rest of the infiltration party. But Griffith complies out of curiosity. This new Aurora is called Umbra, and he admits to killing Adon. Umbra expects great and terrible things from Griffith's intended path. Umbra worries that Griffith may be going soft because of his concern for Adon's death, but Griffith coldly assures Umbra that he is prepared to do whatever is necessary to achieve his dream. Ambrose tries to listen in on the conversation, but he hears only Griffith's voice as Umbra speaks to Griffith through telepathy. When Griffith and Umbra return to the tent, Griffith declares that no further investigation is needed in Adon's death. The matter is to be dropped, and the infiltration party will help him come up with a new plan to salvage the ransom operation. With the enemy general and governor already agreeing to come out of the fortress, now is the opportunity to strike a fatal blow against Doldrey. In an abandoned tavern near Doldrey, 5 two-door knights meet with 5 Band of the Hawk mercenaries to exchange gold for Adon Coborlwitz. Mirka accompanies Griffith, Casca, Judo, and Jaquat to buy time for Milos, Ambrose, and Aurora to set up an ambush. By using multiple magic mouth spells in a bag over the dead Adon's head, Mirka successfully convinces Governor Gennon and General Boscogn that Adon is being returned alive. Governor Gennon then doubles the offered gold in exchange for Griffith to come back to the fortress with him. Griffith agrees, and the 2 negotiation parties go their separate ways. On the wooded road, the rest of the infiltration team lay in wait, far enough from the 2-door backline meant to reinforce Gennon's group should something go awry. On command, 14 skilled archers among the Hawks rain down crossbow bolts on Gennon's stagecoach and guard, all wielding the results of Milos's experimental repeating crossbow design. Milos himself takes note of the formidable Boscogn as his target. Mirka charges in to hex and combat Adon's brother, Samson. Aurora conjures a hypnotic pattern, incapacitating a 2-door heavy guard. But the 2-door troops seem to have a magic user of their own, a knight of the Holy Iron Chain who calls upon the blessings of so-called archangels to aid on the battlefield. When Milos sees the true form of his spiritual weapon is the presence of Ubik, he is overwhelmed with fear. Ambrose goes after the Holy Knight, stunning him with a few well-placed blows. When he strikes away the man's helm, he realizes his identity. Percival, Ambrose's love from his days in the court of Doldrey. He cannot bear to finish off this lover-turned-enemy, but keeps him stunned long enough for other Hawks to restrain him and end his incantations. In the stagecoach, Griffith pummels Gennon without any weapons. Boscogn enters the fray and seems to be a more worthy match for Mirka and Ambrose. He even breaks Mirka's Arumi, and Mirka feels a cold rage begin to surface. With the remaining targets congealing around the pincushion stagecoach, Umbra takes over and summons a cloud of darkness to confuse friend and foe alike and force them to disperse. Unfortunately, the addled Milos is only more panicked by the otherworldly darkness and chooses to toss gunpowder bombs into the confusion. Umbra lifts the darkness, revealing Mirka finishing off Boscogn as the blasted body of Gennon burns. The 2-door reinforcements witness this scene and retreat. Percival and Samson are taken prisoner. Griffiths is all right and begins commanding the taking of Doldrey. Thanks to their efforts here, the 2-door forces are confused and without command, and the awaiting bulk of the Band of the Hawk will crush the demoralized army. Aurora is given back control and marvels at his role in the Midland victory. Ambrose feels no joy in the victory, wondering about Percival's fate and his own choices. Milos apologizes to Griffith about his shots not ringing true and wonders if he will remain with the band. Mirka is wounded from Milos's bombs and falls closer to true apostlehood as he realizes his human friends will always be a danger. In the following hours, Doldrey is taken. Watching over the battle are 2 warriors from different directions in the same place by a happenstance of fate. Nosferatu Zod sees Griffith take Doldrey and smiles, amused by this commander of destiny prevailing over weaker humans. Steel sees the same and grows all the more grim, wondering what more Griffith will sacrifice to bring him down this dreadful path.